Well, Tim, here we are again in Philadelphia, and it's my honor to be talking to George Weldon, who was a comrade of mine in Vietnam. We served together at the same time, not in the same platoon, but at the same time in 1968 and 69. And George, I want to thank you very, very much for taking your time out to come here and share your story.
It's an honor, John.
And it's going to be a puzzle part that's going to go into the main to make our puzzle, our unit complete, Charlie Company unit complete. So
I appreciate it. It's an honor.
Oh, and with that, I'm just going to start out real kind of simple and ask, where were you born and raised?
South Philadelphia.
Okay, so you're a Philly boy.
Yeah.
Okay, and what year were you born?
49.
Okay. And did you volunteer or were you drafted?
I was drafted.
Okay, and how old were you at the time?
19.
Okay, had you just basically gotten out of high school and had a job, or what were you doing in those days?
I had a job.
What were you doing?
I was working as a forklift driver over in Pennsauken, New Jersey.
Okay.
National Steel.
Okay, and what was your initial reaction when you opened the envelope and you saw the greetings letter?
I figured I had to go into service.
I mean, but was it a shock?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Because most people were being drafted at 20, you go to 20.
Exactly.
And I just turned 19.
Okay. Yeah, I got drafted at 18, I think.
Yeah.
I made the mistake of dropping out of college, and of course they immediately grabbed me, and that was my stupid mistake.
Yeah, 'cause most of the guys were just turning 20 when you get drafted, or a month before turning 20.
Yeah. Where did you go to basic training?
At Fort Bragg, North Carolina.
Okay, and what, did they fly you there? They bus you there? How did you get there?
By train,
Oh, okay.
out of Philadelphia.
And then when you got off the train, was there Army bus or something that took you?
It was Army buses took us over to the
Okay.
depot.
And do you remember going into the fort and stopping and at the,
You stopped at a
like a reception station?
reception station for 5 days or 6 days to get your clothes.
Okay. When you got off the bus and your foot hit the pavement or the cement, what was going on? What do you remember about that very first experience when you were in front of these buildings?
Oh, it was a shock. It was new, but it wasn't basic training yet.
Were there DIs there?
No, not right there. They were just regular sergeants.
Okay, and so there was no harassment yet?
Oh, no harassment. No.
Okay.
You got your clothes, your haircut.
Okay.
You're testing for what you're suited for and all this.
Okay, so that was about a week.
About 5 or 6 days, and then drill sergeants came. And reality set in.
So, yeah, no kidding.
Oh yeah.
And what do you remember most about basic? What were they teaching you in basic training?
Well, they taught you how to march, weapon, a little bit about everything, but
Mm-hmm.
basically how to become a soldier.
Yeah.
And I was pretty lucky in basic training because I went through it with 27 guys from Philadelphia
No
in
kidding.
the same platoon.
Oh, yeah.
So
No, Jerry wasn't in that.
no,
Okay.
Jerry wasn't.
Did any of them go to AIT with you?
No,
Okay, that's funny, isn't it? Because you
Yeah.
could have those guys start in basic and then they send
Yeah.
everybody to different places.
yeah,
Do you remember what your platoon sergeant's name was?
Rayner, Drill Sergeant Rayner.
Okay,
We only had one.
yeah, okay,
It was at a small platoon.
okay. And so,
Rest of the platoons had maybe 60 people in them. The 4th platoon had 32 people, I believe.
I'll be darned. So what was your impression then when you went to a barracks where you were going to be?
Home, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm assuming they had the bunks and a long bay
Yeah.
and so forth.
Upstairs and downstairs.
Yep, same. I was at Fort Ord, and it sounds like it was just
And
exactly the same.
upstairs was the same as downstairs. But the only thing upstairs is only like 4 people.
Did they ever, do you remember Fire Watch?
Every night. if you didn't have it,
They rotated, yeah.
every night somebody different.
Yeah.
But being a short platoon, you were doing it more often,
Yes, of course.
upstairs and downstairs.
Okay. At graduation from basic, they are going to tell you where you're going to go and what your MOS is going to be.
Yeah.
Before that moment, did you think, oh, I might go to radio school or I might go to some other school?
Well, I kind of figured I was going to go infantry.
You did?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I kind of, especially when you're training at an infantry. So,
I shot expert. and
yeah.
Got high scores in the PT test, G-free testing, I think it's called.
Yep, yep.
Kind of maxed that.
Good.
And I kind of figured I was going to the infantry.
Yeah. And so they called your name and they said 11 Bravo.
11 Bravo, yeah.
And where did they say you were going for AIT?
Fort Polk, Louisiana.
Oh boy, you went right to the place, didn't you? And did you get any? Well, did they fly you again, or how did they get you to Fort Polk?
They flew me. Graduated on a Friday. Saturday morning, I was on a plane, Eastern plane, heading to Fort Polk, Louisiana.
Okay. And now, because you've been in the Army for 8 weeks, you've kind of gotten, and of course, you remember towards the end of basic, they actually started treating us like human beings.
Yeah.
So we left basic with some confidence. And so what was it like when you got to AIT?
Well, it wasn't no drill sergeants, just sergeants.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they were former graduates of NCO school.
Oh, okay, so they were the instant NCOs, the
Yeah.
shake and bakes?
Yeah, shake and bakes that
Okay.
held over the train, be a sergeant to train. And basically just got you from point A to point B.
To the classes?
To the classes, mostly classes, you know, and to the ranges, for, fire, live fire exercise, bivouac. And,
Escape and evasion and all that?
E&E, escape. Peace on Ridge it was called.
Sure.
I don't know if you took.
What was it again?
Peace on Ridge.
Nope.
That was the name of it.
No, I didn't do that.
And if you got captured, it wasn't funny.
Oh yeah, we had guys that had foot lockers in the ground, and they'd throw them in there and close them, and yeah, it was not funny. And, you know, they were pretty serious if they caught you.
But believe me, you got captured, it was good because you knew you would never be captured in Vietnam. I mean, I personally, I would never be taken.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I just figured, how could they treat you as an American? You train and destroy.
Yeah, exactly.
When you said something, you get banged.
Yep, yep.
So I escaped. Me and another guy escaped, and yeah, it was pretty good training. You know, get you ready for Vietnam.
Mm-hmm. Now, did you guys in AIT get to, at the end of the day, did you get to go to the
PX.
yeah, or yeah, like that?
Well, if you didn't have no night courses, you could. Yeah, go up to the PX. Yeah.
But you got a little freedom, is
Yeah,
what I'm getting
if
at.
you didn't have night courses, yeah. You
And then
could.
on weekends, you could get a pass?
Yeah, but they really didn't want you to go down in town there, Lee's town.
Yeah,
They prefer you to buy your beer and sit there in the company area and drink.
yeah, absolutely, yeah. And there was a good reason for
Sure was.
for that.
They prefer you to do that.
When you graduated from AIT, did you get a 30-day leave to go home before going to Vietnam?
I got I think it was 3 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then after saying goodbye, I'm assuming you
Yeah.
saw your family, friends, and
Yeah, it was
and so
like
forth.
the middle of October, I guess.
Yeah.
The first week of October.
And then when you had to go back, where were you at the time, and where did you fly to?
When I had to go back to the service,
Yeah.
I was back to Vietnam. Go to Vietnam?
I'm sorry. What town were you in, Philly? You were
I was in South Philly, yeah.
And so where did
I flew out of Philadelphia International
to Oakland?
to California.
To Oakland, okay, yeah.
Oakland?
Oakland, yep.
Yeah.
And so then from Oakland, of course, you went to Vietnam.
Yep.
And what was your impression when they landed in Vietnam and they opened the door and you went down the stairs and you put your first foot on the ground there? What was your impression of Vietnam?
Oh, the heat and the smell. Oh, it was a smell all its own.
Yep. And you know what? Every single guy that I've talked to says the same identical thing.
Yeah, it was the smell, and kind of figured life wasn't going to be the same after that,
Mm-hmm.
and it never was.
And it never was. Boy, that's the truth. So they took you to Long Bend from Benoit, and then they bused us to Long Bend.
Yeah, then-
How long did you have to hang around there before they gave you your orders to?
The next day we went up to, got on another bus, had cages on the window,
Oh, yeah,
and they took us up to Couché.
yeah. Now, I got to back you up. You said there were cages and stuff on the windows. Did
Yeah.
you have, when you got on the bus and you saw that, did you wonder why that was?
I just figured, people throw grenades or something like that.
And that's exactly
that's what
right.
it was for, bottles.
And of course, when you took that truck ride, we went through several villages
Yeah.
and so forth, and so then you get to Cucci.
We went to reception center there,
Okay.
and there you filled out, I think it was a postcard, where you sent it home.
I forgot about that.
After you found out where you were going.
Yes, and about the address
Yeah,
where they could
address,
send
yeah.
mail.
Where they
Gosh,
could send mail.
that's a great memory. I forgot all about that.
And it was a postcard that had the 25th patch on it.
Yep.
They told you you're going to the Charlie Company, second to 27 Wolfhounds.
Mm-hmm.
Your APO number and all this.
And
Then you
then,
fill your card out and they send it home for you.
sure. And the nice thing was, is all our mail was
Yeah,
free.
they had free
We
mail,
got
yeah.
to send mail home free. And so now you found out you're in Charlie Company. And when did you actually go join your platoon, and where were they at the time?
They were in Harris.
At Harris, okay.
Yeah. And that was in October, I think. Like the middle of October.
What was it like walking in for the first time?
Well, I was treated like I was a long lost brother. That's why I love Lake Tempest and these guys.
Were you a replacement?
Yeah.
And what was the shape of the platoon when you got in there?
It was, well, Jerry was still there. He got wounded a couple days afterwards. And it was all right.
I mean,
There was missing a few people.
that was my point. Yeah, most of the platoons
You were missing some
weren't
people.
running full force.
And I came in with a few other guys, and we all, like, they treated us just like we were brothers.
Oh, that's great.
I mean, not like you see on TV, a newbie, you ain't worth nothing.
Yeah,
Well, we were worth something. These
Sure.
guys took us under their wing. Jerry Radley.
yeah.
I don't know if you remember a guy named Chuck Cooney.
I don't remember him, no.
And, you know, I had Mickey Griffith. I don't know if you remember him. He was another great
Mhm.
person. They just treated me and the rest of our guys that came in with me like we were there from day one with
Yeah.
them.
Do you know why they treated you like long lost brothers? And took you, especially why they took you under their wing and taught you as quickly as they could?
Those were Wolfhounds.
So you didn't get us killed.
Yeah.
The new,
Well,
The-
I learned quick, and so
Yeah.
did these other guys.
yeah,
They-
but that was the motivation,
I mean,
because,
it didn't take long, like for Tim Pastor and Riley, that
yeah,
it didn't take very long at all, really.
yeah.
You know that I would have their back.
Yeah,
Because a couple days there, and we did have their back.
you betcha.
And they knew that they could depend on me and
Good.
us, and we could depend on them.
And what weapon were you assigned when you went?
M16.
Okay, so you were an M16, and what position did
Rear
they?
security.
Oh, so you were in the rear, okay.
I was the last man in the column.
Okay. How did that work out?
It worked out good because I did it for a year.
Well, okay. And then you never stepped on a booby trap, or,
Not,
of course, with everybody,
I found my own booby traps. 'Cause I would be behind sometimes 50 or 100 meters. It's all according.
oh, I see.
How my job was to make sure you weren't followed.
Yep,
So I had to have the same pace count as the point man and the second man at 110 for 100. And every night before we go on an ambush, I would get where we were going, handwritten, the azimuths and all that. I would shoot my own azimuths in the
oh,
dark.
I'll be darned.
Yeah.
Tell me about that very first ambush patrol you went on.
I was at Harrison. That was a little scary.
Do you remember how far out you went?
A couple of clicks, I guess. And you was
And in the dark, that's a long walk.
Oh yeah, and it was a little scary. I mean, you don't know. But the guy said, "Don't worry about it." I remember I started coughing. That was a no-no.
Yeah.
And they got the medic. He said, "Give him something to chew on." He gave me a cough drop.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then after that, it was fine.
And traditionally, in your platoon, did they usually set up like in an L ambush with a rear security type?
Yeah, well, how APs worked is, I guess, the same as in second platoon.
Yeah.
One night, 1-5 would go out. One night, 1-6 go out.
Yep.
And that's how it worked with us.
Yeah.
And I was in 1-6. Jerry was in 1-6.
Mm-hmm.
Lieutenant Davis. Well, Wiesner first. We were him first. And,
Do you remember the first time that you were on an ambush patrol that you popped it?
yeah, that was in November.
And can you just describe a little bit about what that was like?
Well, somebody said we got company, and everybody got up.
Everybody get ready.
Everybody get ready, and 1-6, Davis said nobody pops until I pop.
Good thinking.
That was our rule.
Yeah, I know, that was,
No popping until
Yeah.
I pop. He said, "I'm in charge, no popping until I pop."
I wonder, at that point, did he have the starlight so he could see pretty good about?
Yeah, well, you could see him. You need a starlight to see him. And then he opened up, and everybody opened up.
Yep.
And then it got quiet. Then we made a sweep, and there was some dead people out there. And
Mm-hmm.
first time I seen dead people, but
Did it go back to you again a second time? This is real? Now it's real. I mean,
I kind of figured, what's this going to be every night? Can't stand this every night in the week.
but then you found out you did day sweeps.
You did day sweeps, then you did eagle flights.
Yep, a lot of eagle flights.
Then you did what we call the dust patrols, which I guess you've been on.
Yep.
Out of a hard spot.
Yep.
That's if you didn't have an AP, you went out.
Yep.
Maybe a click and walked around.
And you remember the 7-day rifts where
Yeah,
we'd go
7-day
out for
rifts.
7 days and,
Then when we stopped doing that, we went on 20-day loggers.
yep,
Then they extend you 5 days. Then they extend you 5 more days, so you'd be out 30 days.
mm-hmm. Yeah, the thing I always remembered the most is you worked all day and then you AP'd all night. And
Yeah.
it just every day. And it's hard to stay
Well,
awake.
When you worked a hard spot, if you went out on an ambush patrol, you came in the morning, that morning you go sleep.
Yeah, I was talking about the 7-day rifts.
Oh, the
where they
7-day rifts,
yeah,
you all day long. You were
all day
gone.
and all night. Yeah.
That's like a logger. If you got back to the NDP, you could lay around. You weren't back at the NDP, you weren't laying around.
Yep, that's for sure.
I mean, every night you were going on an ambush patrol.
Were you ever out and you guys got ambushed?
Got ambushed in Renegade Woods.
Any other time before that?
Yeah, back in November of '69, I was with Jerry Radley. We were on a dust patrol. Yeah, about 5 of us. And I guess when you've been on a dust patrol, you ain't got everything with you, just your magazines. It was just getting dark, and Charlie opened up on us. So Jerry said, well, we're going to assault that tree line. Okay. So he had a hat on, a bush hat that snapped up on the side. And he's standing like we are. He said, hold my hat. So I got his hat in my left hand. I got my weapon in my right hand. I figured he'd making an adjustment. He said, let's go. And he took off. So I took off with him. I'm shooting with my right hand. And I got his hat in my left hand.
Why did he give you his hat?
Just before he took off.
Why?
I thought he was going to make an adjustment to something. His gear or something.
Oh,
He
God.
wanted me to hold his hat.
Oh,
And we were going across the field, and I realized these green things going across my head ain't fireflies,
Yeah.
lightning bugs. I said, yo, Jerry, there's your hat. And it was a good mission. Everybody came back.
Yeah, that's always a good mission. So you got to be in a firefight there and a little
Yeah.
gunfight, and
Yeah, and we just sold the hedgerow, which I guess they never expected us to do.
yeah,
And we had to stay out all night because they figured we might get ambushed trying to get back in.
no question about it. Yeah.
And we got back in the next day, and everybody was safe. Nobody hurt. That's a great mission.
You bet. On another note, when was the first time that you saw one of your guys get hurt or killed?
Oh, that would be late October. I seen 2 guys get killed.
Okay. And what were you feeling at that point?
Hurt. I mean, he ain't there no more, and it does hurt.
Did it, I'm going to use this word, and maybe it's not the right word, but were you scared?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like a deep fear?
Yeah, you get it like in your stomach, a
Yeah.
sour feeling in your stomach. And, and eventually it wears off because, you say to yourself, well, he'll sleep tight and tight tonight.
Yeah. And sometimes it's just almost like you feel numb.
Yeah, it got to be, I said, they sleep tonight. I got to deal with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't, I remember, I don't think I ever slept like soundly.
Oh,
It was
no.
almost like you had your ear open and one eye open.
You wrapped up in your poncho liner. You didn't have no poncho.
Yeah,
You had that camouflage thing.
Yeah.
You wrapped yourself up in that.
yeah.
You were later, like you said, just lay there and listen all night.
Were you there during the rainy season?
Oh, monsoon, oh, yeah.
What did you think of that?
Oh, you wet? You wet all the time.
And when you'd go out on an AP,
Yeah, you wet.
freeze to death?
Yeah, that's why I say you wrap up in your poncho line.
Yeah.
I mean, even though you're wet, that keeps the body
Yeah.
heat in.
Excuse me.
But like I said, most of the time, it's all according where you were working. You worked that area.
Oh, yeah.
Hobo Woods,
Mhm.
Hobo, Sister Woods, Boloys,
Michelin.
Michelin Rubber Plantation.
Did you guys ever get over to the sugar mill?
Sugar Mill, oh, yeah.
Okay. That was a weird, that was a
Yeah,
weard place.
Right around the river, Ranzong Song River.
Mhm.
Matter of fact, we used to pull some riverboat operations out of there. And I remember we were on the top floor of one of the biggest buildings there, the steps. And in the middle, they had this big square hole going all the way straight down.
Hmm.
And
And the sugar mill was painted red and white, I think, or
that
some.
was a lighthouse, like, for the barges that
Yeah,
come in.
yeah.
Yeah, we found a cache of weapons in there.
Oh,
It didn't belong to the army, it belonged to the locals. That was their weapons for defending themselves, I guess.
oh, I'll be darned, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, I think maybe Jerry was there with us. Yeah, we found them because we were in there looking around.
Mm-hmm.
We wasn't supposed to be in there, I guess, but we found a couple of crates of Thompson 45s. And here they belonged to the militia.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, that would have been locals, not Viet Cong and not
No, they were the
just the local
locals, yeah.
people, yeah. During your tour, did you take an R&R?
Yeah, I did.
Where did you go?
Taiwan, Taipei.
Okay, and tell me just a little bit about that.
Well, when I was leaving to go there, and coming into the land, I looked down, I see these rice paddies. I said, oh, no, I'm going to another place with rice paddies. I was just upset. I said, rice paddies? I said, that's where I'm going, rice paddies? When I got there, it was a city, and I was amazed. People were wearing around with suits and ties.
Oh,
on.
yeah.
Children running around in uniforms going to school. And,
Was it clean?
oh, yeah, it was very clean.
Mm-hmm.
The hotel was nice. Got treated very nice.
Oh, yeah. So basically, were you like a tourist? You sightseeing and
Well,
things to see, or?
Yeah, they take you sightseeing. You want to go, but most of the guys want to go to bars and have fun and
Yeah,
enjoy 5 or 6 days.
yeah, sure.
You know.
And did you go alone, or did any of your buddies go with you, or?
Oh, I went up by myself.
Yeah, that's usually the way it
Well,
worked out.
you know, when you're down at Camp David down next to Tonsanute, you meet some guys, grunts, and kind of stay together.
Mm-hmm. Now, how many total months were you in Vietnam?
11.
So you were there 11 months. And in that 11th month, were you wounded? Is that why?
No, I got wounded April 2nd,
Okay.
same as Jerry.
Oh, okay. And what kind of a wound did you sustain?
Eye,
Okay,
and creased in the head.
okay. And as I recall, that was Renegade, right?
Renegade
As I
was.
recall, they couldn't get in there real quick. Like,
Oh, no.
I mean, you know, like normally if we were out someplace and
Yeah.
somebody stepped on a booby trap,
Well,
you could get a medevac in there.
we couldn't control it.
Yeah,
First platoon was done.
yep. And you remember Rarick?
Well, John Rurick, yeah.
Yeah.
I seen Rurick get killed, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Mickey Griffith, I seen them all get killed.
Yeah. That was the worst day of your life.
Yeah, because anybody ever walked into an ambush, it'd be the worst day of their life.
Worst day of your life.
Yeah.
And especially one that was as organized and as many people as they had. I mean, this wasn't just 7 NVA, I
Well,
don't think.
You know, after years passed, you know, you sit there and think, you try not to think about that.
Mm-hmm.
I try not to.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I got a great memory.
yeah.
And I really try not to ever think about it because it was a bad day.
So when you finally got on a medevac, do you remember anything about that, where they took you or how that?
They took me to Tainan, 25th Medevac in Tainan,
Okay,
along with another guy, Bobby Woods. And we were there a couple of days.
and were you pretty coherent? I mean,
Oh,
you,
yeah.
so you knew what was going on?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me what was that like when they took you into the,
There was a lot of, you know, Tainan was a little different than Cuchet. And, but it was a 25th Medevac here, too, and went there, and Bobby Woods was there, and we were there for a couple of days. He treated us good. I seen a doctor, and he sent me back to Cuchet to see another eye doctor. And Bobby was being treated for different wounds. And the eye doctor came in, took the bandage off. He said, "That looks fine. Everything's looking fine." That's what happened. I got creased in the head and creased in the eye, and knocked the eye out of the socket. And the head wound bleeds real fast.
Oh, yes.
And the blood was coming down through the eye, and they're saying they shot your eye out. I said, "Don't feel like they shot my eye out."
God.
And I said, "No." I said, "Don't feel like it." Well, this Jim Braverman says, "I'm going to help you out." I said, "Okay." He got each one of them big bandages. He wrapped it around my face. I'm saying, "Well, you hurt me more than the fingers." Because what he was doing, pressing the eye against the
Yeah.
He meant well. And I still have my right eye, looking at my right eye. And, you know, then he got us out of there. Then he got Jerry out. And I know, but that was hard even getting us out.
And was that the end of your combat then? I mean, was it,
Oh, no, I came back.
so they fixed you up
Yeah.
and out you go?
Well, I went to Cambodia on Mother's Day. Yeah. And, yeah, I got back, and he says, "All right, a couple of weeks late duty, a week here." Well, we were rebuilding anyway.
Mm-hmm,
We lost a lot of people.
mm-hmm.
And we were getting replacements from 101st Airborne.
Oh, yeah, mm-hmm.
We got a new colonel. Custer was gone.
Yep.
And, you know, my next time out was Cambodia. Got on board C-130s down in Cuchet on the field and flew up there.
So when you went back out, was it, did you have a different job or were you
I
a
know,
rifleman still?
Still a rifleman, yeah, rear
Oh,
security.
Okay,
Had
okay,
different lieutenant, a different 1.5.
yeah. Did it feel different after you got wounded?
Yeah, I never got close to nobody. Just the same, well, we still had Jerry, but he got offline. I had a guy named Shalada, Nowacki, John Funk, which stayed on line with
Mhm.
me right to the end. Pat McCarthy, still had them. And we stayed,
Oh, yes.
it was
Yep.
just us.
Yep.
We never
Yep.
got close to anyone. They were just there. You know, I mean, talk to them and drink with them and all that, but never got close. Didn't care where you lived. Everybody else that was in that platoon, Jerry could tell you. I could tell you where they lived, what their mother's names
Oh, yeah,
were.
yeah.
That's how it was. But I never allowed myself to get close to them.
Mm-hmm.
And we lost a lot of them. I still seen a lot of combat after that. And But we got some great people and took their places. I have to say that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not even the guys, but officers. We got a couple good officers. We got a 1-5. His name was Tom Kearns. He has 5 years in Vietnam as a Wolfhound.
Wow.
He was in the first Wolfhounds. And he was friends with the colonel that took Custer's place. He brought him into the first platoon. And he came back online. I mean, after 5 years, this guy could just look at something and tell you something's wrong.
Wow.
And he treated, he looked at us like children, and he took care of us.
Which was a good thing.
Yeah, his name was Tom Kearns, and he was one of the best.
Mm-hmm. So at the end of your tour, when you get ready to go home, do you remember what it was like when you got on the Freedom Bird?
Oh, I sure do. Oh, yeah, I was down to being a 2-digit midget. But they're pulling the Wolfhounds out of Vietnam now. You had your points, your time in, you were going. You didn't, you were going up north. They sent them up north.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was a 2-digit midget, and he had an American band over at where he had
The processing out?
Yeah.
A 2-digit midget.
That's what it
What
was.
is that?
Huh?
What is that?
2 days left.
Well, 2-digit midget. Oh,
Then he became a 1 day and a wake up.
Yeah.
And we had an American band there, and all Wolfhounds, Italian style stand out what it was.
Yep.
And the guy came back. He was like a couple girls. And I guess somebody threw a beer can. I never forget. I was sitting in the front, and he said, "Anybody, next person throws an empty beer can, the show's over with." I said, "How about a whole bunch of full ones?" Wolfhounds being Wolfhounds, they start throwing the beer cans on. The show was over.
End of the show.
End of the show. And they point you back to your companies, and they had
Sure.
trios full of cold beer.
Sure. Yeah, when you got to go in on those things, you even got a steak
Yeah.
and stuff
Oh, yeah.
once in a while.
And then I got my, day I was leaving, I got my bag and got you on a bus, took it down to the Tonsanuk Air Base. And I was going on the tarmac to call my name and get on board the Freedom Bird home. And 2 guys that was in my platoon, they were coming down, walking down the tarmac. And we had a dog named Lifer. I don't know if you remember Frank's.
Chill.
Yeah. You remember him?
Mm-hmm.
He got this dog in the village. It was a brown dog. We named her Lifer.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him, I said, whatever you do, make sure you take this dog with you. And I was getting up to go up the stairs up from the tarmac, and I looked over and seen them 2 coming. And he had a rope, and he had Lifer. They did it. They took Lifer. That made it was worthwhile.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's funny how we got attached to those pups,
She was taken care of.
Yeah, it's amazing.
She
So
just-
what was the flight home like?
Well, it was good. Everybody was happy. We left Vietnam airspace, so everybody was happy.
And you were on a commercial plane?
Yeah.
So there were actually stewardesses and...
Oh, yeah. Then, they stopped at a couple different places.
Yeah.
Stopped in Hawaii. We got off in Hawaii, had some drinks and all.
Mm-hmm.
And then they dropped you off at Travis Air Force Base and kicked you out.
Now, did you still have 6 months to go?
Yeah,
And where did you finish your...
Germany.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, while flicking.
Okay. Well, I mean, Germany, that was different, I'll bet, huh?
Oh, yeah, it was up in the mountain, up in the Czechoslovakian border.
Okay.
Yeah, on top of a mountain. Cold, but it was a vacation to me.
Yeah, oh, gosh, I should say.
But I talked to Exo Wiesner last night. He asked me the same thing. Germany, where at? I told him. He said, oh, my God. He said, you know where that place was? I said, yeah. He said, you were a dead man. If they ever came across, you were dead within seconds.
Mm.
I said, I kind of figured that. And he said, no, he said, true. That's the filter got. They came across that mountaintop.
My, oh, my.
That was the reason you were there, to give them an excuse to come back with everything they had.
Yeah.
I said, well, it was like a vacation. He said, well, He said, that's why you were there.
Yep. So when you came home, what did you pursue? What, did you start a career or a job, or what?
Went back, where I was working, just to hold your job. Got drafted, and I worked there.
And what did you do?
I worked myself into a journeyman maintenance man.
Oh, okay. And then did you eventually get married and
Oh, yeah.
have kids?
Yeah, today's my anniversary.
Today?
42 years, man.
Today?
Yeah.
Oh, bless your heart.
Yeah, she's sitting right down them steps.
And you're right here at a casino, so you can celebrate.
Oh, we did. We stopped there before coming up here.
Oh, that's
We
wonderful.
went to Jerry's house and had breakfast with him this morning.
Did you stay in touch with any of the guys when you got home?
No. A couple guys that were in the Wolfhounds but weren't in the first platoon. They were in the second platoon.
Okay.
And they were also from Philadelphia.
Okay.
I stayed in touch with them. And Jerry lived the same South Philly like I did. We didn't see each other for close to 50 years.
That's right.
Until this last reunion.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we're together every phone call every day and talking. He's been to my house. I've been to his
Amazing,
house.
isn't it?
And Jerry found me 4 years ago.
Mhm.
Jerry Riley. We talk all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going through a hard time right now.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
His Joanna is really
Yeah.
sick.
That's why I think it was important for me to tell the story about Jerry. This
Yeah.
way, he's sitting right here at this interview.
Oh, yeah. Well, I keep in touch with them
Yeah.
a lot. Jerry and I have become really close
Right.
friends over the years. And
Because I have nothing, and I knew him too over there. He has nothing but the highest respect for him.
I know. Yep. Yep. And think about this. What is your definition of a hero?
I think anybody who fought in Vietnam's a hero. It takes guts to get on a helicopter and go out and get dropped off in the middle of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody. I mean, some people might say the person that says, I ain't going to be the hero. I don't know. But the person who does go, he's a hero.
Yeah.
He's got to step up every day and every night. I mean, once you've been out there and then you got to go back out there again, you're a hero.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I speak at high schools several times a year, and inevitably, one of the kids will raise their hand and say, were you a hero? And I always say the same thing. I said, I wasn't a hero, but I served with a bunch of them.
I served, everybody was a hero.
Yeah, I mean, I served with them. I knew them. I knew heroes.
I mean, everybody does something different every day.
Yep.
Maybe they said they never would do it.
Yeah.
Not because they want to, but because it's me might be in danger, you might be in danger. They just do it.
Yeah. And what does the American flag mean to you?
It's my flag. Have you ever seen our American flag fly upside down?
I have, yeah.
I have. And it wasn't pretty sight. It scared the hell out of me.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah. Until you see it flying in danger, knowing that's how dangerous you're in,
Yeah.
then you understand that flag. I'd die for it today if I had to.
Does it aggravate you when you see the
People spit on it and burn it.
or kneel
Yeah.
during the anthem?
Yeah,
And
it does. I mean, you're getting paid money to stand for a minute. Stand. You don't want to play football? Don't play football.
that's the way I
Don't
see
get paid.
That's the way I see it too.
I mean, until you ever see that flag, I've seen it flying upside down. And that proved, I think I was the scariest I've ever been in my life. And then I got occupied again and
Yeah.
looked up again. There she was, flapping in the wind,
Yep.
straight side up. I
Yep.
said, everything's fine.
Yep. How many kids did you have?
I have one, a daughter.
Any grandkids?
A grandson.
Oh, good.
He's going to be 13 years
Are they
old.
here in Philly?
They're right outside Philadelphia.
Okay. What I'd like you to do is I'd just like you to look in the camera, and I want you to give your best advice to your grandson and his son and his son. What would you have to say to that young man today? What would be your best advice?
continue to do what you're doing. He's doing good. And teach your sons, teach your sons and daughters well. I mean, he's doing good. He gets straight A's in school. Yeah.
He's going to be something.
Yeah, well, I think he might be going to the Naval Academy.
Okay.
His dad went to the Naval Academy.
Okay.
He was a Marine. His father, my son-in-law's father was an Admiral Turner in the Navy. The whole Turner family was Naval Academy.
I'll be. You know what's going to be interesting for you? When that young man is on active duty and he is away from the United States, I'll bet you're going to write him a letter, and I'll bet you'll send him a care package
Oh,
once.
I will, yeah.
Do you remember how important that was to us?
Yeah.
I mean, every,
Miles care packaging.
gosh, in the mail.
Slim Jims and Vienna sausage.
yeah.
Beef
Well,
stews.
You know, George, I just want to thank you
Oh,
for spending the time and coming here
oh no.
today